Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, brothers and sisters. So this morning I will continue to talk on the subject of religion and belief, because I think it is important talk in order to get our akidah right, in order to strengthen our belief, in order to maintain our akidah by reading to you the content of the Quran, because the Quran was sent to the Messenger of Allah as a guidance to mankind, with the right guidance according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the belief and practice of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion. That is the way to attain paradise in the day of thereafter. So yesterday I have been talking on the sentences in the Quran, page 4, and we found some interesting sentences. We've been talking about the attitude of the hardcore unbelievers. We've been talking about the attitude of pretenders who claim that they believe, but actually they had not believed, so they think they are just cheating Allah and the Muslim, but then Allah said back that they were only cheating themselves. These pretenders were also saying that why they should believe as the stupid people believe. Then Allah replied that they are the people who are actually stupid. So these are very interesting revelation that tell us the secret of the people that we may not be aware of. And I have also been telling you the politics of a country whereby there had been the work of these people who in the end destroy the country, or doing destruction to the country after they had toppled the good leader out of jealousy and not having fear of Allah, which led them to the sin of defamation, one defamation after the other. So they were consistently committing sin, and for that reason we see that they don't have fear of Allah, which tell us that they may not have belief, so they are considered as the category of munafiqin. And this morning I will continue reading to you the pages, the sentences on the page of the Quran, and we have completed page 4. So this morning, let's see what page is it. So this morning should be page 5. Let's see what I have here. The printed copy of the Quran. Yes, it is page 5. As usual, to get the barakah of this morning, let me read the Quran in the actual language of Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ كُلَّمَا ذُوقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي ذُقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأُتُوا بِهِ مُتَشَابِهًا وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Sadaqallahul Azim. Brothers and sisters, let's look at the meaning of this sentence 25. So there's a subheading on this translation. So the subheading says the reward of the believers. So I have been telling you the believers will be rewarded with going to paradise in the day after. So this sentence 25 is telling something about the reward. So let's look at the meaning closely. And send the news to send the good news to the believers and people who are doing good deed. Verily, for them is paradise, whereby below it is the flowing rivers. Each time they were given the gift of provision of fruit in the paradise. And they will say, this is the like of the fruit that we have got before, meaning the fruit in the paradise will look like the fruit we get on earth presently. So they were given like similar fruit, but the taste are not the same. And they were also given partners, meaning that a man will have wives, the woman will have husband in paradise. The wives that are always pure and the husband that are always pure, and they will be in paradise forever. So we see the happiness of a man is with a partner that is woman. So the woman happiness is with the partner which is man. So we'll see also in this world that the happy people are the married people having partners. So in the next world, the same thing, that the man will have partners and the woman will have partners too. And the next subheading is title The Like of, and the like of and the learning point from Al-Quran. So in this subheading are the sentence 26 and 27. Let's read sentence 26. Verily, Allah is not feeling shame of making the like of a mosquito. So in the Quran, Allah mentioned a mosquito. The great book Al-Quran contains the word mosquito. So we see a mosquito is like insignificant creature. You know, I've been reading about the Vietnamese army fighting the American in Vietnam. They said they are not afraid of fighting the American. They are more afraid of getting malaria. So, who bring this malaria? Mosquito. So, this Vietnamese army appear to be they are more afraid of mosquito than fighting the American army. Then the people who are believers knows the meaning of the like of is from their Lord, whilst the unbelievers will question what is the intention of Allah making this kind of sentence or revelation on creature that look insignificant. So this questioning is indication. It's not a good indication of what is the content of their heart. Allah said, Allah led astray many people because of this revelation talking about mosquito. And from it, Allah also had given guidance. Allah is not letting people to go astray other than because they are committing big sin. So next sentence, the people who had broken the promise that had been agreed on, they decided to continue to break this promise, and they are doing the destruction on this earth. Then they become the losers. Okay, we completed the subheadings on the like of and the learning point from the Al-Quran. So we go to the next heading, the evidence of power of Allah. So on this subheading, in sentence 28 and 29 of this page, but I don't know whether there will be a continuation of this heading on page 6, which I'll read to you hopefully tomorrow. So anyway, let's see the meaning of the sentence of 28. How come you disbelieve or against Allah, whilst you know that you were dead before, meaning before you were not present on earth, before you were born, you were not alive, you were dead. Then Allah give life to you. Then Allah will take the life from you. Later in the day of judgment, Allah put back the life to you. Then you'll be sent back to Allah, meaning that sending back to Allah, whether Allah will reward to paradise or punish in hell. So I find this sentence 28 is amazing. People like going against Allah or make them not to believe in Allah, while they know that it didn't exist before. Then given life out of the birth, the womb of their mothers, and came to and being born and grew up, and then given the faculty to think, and then some become rebellious, or some even make themselves to disbelieve of the presence of the Creator. Of course, these people deserve the punishment, and the people who believe and look for guidance, the right guidance, follow the guidance of the Messenger of Allah, will be rewarded in the next life. You see, when the angel were born, the angel realized that they were created by God, and the angels straight away, when the moment that they were born, angel prostrate. But the human beings are not like that. So the next sentence, Allah created whatever is on earth. Then created what is in the heaven. Then he created 7 heaven in 7 heaven in order, and he knows he is all knowing. So Allah is all knowing, so he created 7 heaven. So the number there is 7. What is interesting about 7 layers of heaven? Meaning heaven, first heaven, second heaven, third heaven, fourth heaven, fifth heaven, sixth heaven, seventh heaven. So it's mentioned there, 7 heaven. So if you look what is in the heaven, we see stars. Stars are the distant object, and there are billions of stars. Scientists even say, just look at the grain of sand on this beach. If you count that sand, which is the number of grains on the sands on this beach, compared to the number of stars in the heaven, there are more stars in the heaven compared to the grain of sand on this beach, in the beach on earth. But the size of the stars in the heaven compared to the sun is only an average size of the stars in the heaven. So it's huge, the size is huge, even measure in distance. The distance is measured in light years away. And I've been telling you, the galaxy shaped like elliptical, one edge to the other edge is in billion of light years distant. So what we see, what scientists can detect at the moment with whatever detection device they can detect is only in the first heaven. So there is another heaven, there is another heaven, there is another heaven, until in total there is 7. So look like there are layers of heaven. There is a cosmologist named Miyako. He said in his writing that I read that the heaven is in layers, like one top, one above the other, in layers. But he didn't know how many layers. But Quran, Allah tell us there are 7 layers. So we have to believe there are 7 layers. But the scientists were only saying layers, but he didn't know how many layers. So that is the information that I have read about the heaven in layers. I think that come to the last sentence 29. With that, I leave you. Thank you very much for listening.